Hey there folks and friends, Connecting Dots here. It's Monday morning, August the 11th, 2014. Just watched a few videos again on YouTube and boy oh boy, not impressed with what's going on here. So I figured I'd make this quick little video here before I head out to actually capture my own real live footage here so you can all see that the West Coast is not dead. There's lots of activity. Fukushima did not wash up on our shores and kill everything there. And neither is Ebola. It's not about to kill anyone, and it's rather sad when you have these YouTubers. There's many of you, and many of you that don't make the videos, but you just rather promote their videos by re-uploading them on your own channel without ever checking the facts to see if these people are correct. So, it's not correct. Okay, folks? This whole CDC thing that they've changed its transmission mode, and now you have to be careful that if you're within 3 feet of an infected person, okay, this is the same Ebola protocol. It's been going on for a long time. We have lots of people out here just promoting fear, not producing any facts. Okay, I'll leave a link here down below so you can go follow this link. You'll find out yourself that this protocol has been there for a long time. I think if you watch my videos, I made a good point of showing here how it can't just jump onto you. You have to be in a room with somebody who's sick. I referred to studies on monkeys, and I also found out another study here that was posted on this forum where another researcher, I think it was in Australia, had found a link between, was it guinea pigs and pigs, I believe, that were infected with Ebola. So it got transferred from the guinea pigs to the pigs. And he said there was no contact, but again, the guinea pigs and the pigs were held in the same laboratory containment area. So yes, when you're stuck in an area with a bunch of sick animals that are coughing and spewing, the droplets, and he specifically said in that study that they had to be large droplets, according to what his study was, large droplets that would not stay in the air for very long. So that was a clear indication it's because the animals are in caged quarters close to each other, same as the monkeys. They couldn't touch each other, but the cages are very close, so if you cough, you know, of course, if you're going to be in a room with someone that's sick, there's a chance that the germs, the virus is going to get to you. So I just want to point this out here, that enough with the fear-mongering. I'm sick and tired of this crap here, folks. Again, you know, Shield's trying to attack me. I don't care. You know, I'd rather post the truth than be one of those fearing folks on YouTube. It's rather disgusting here what's taking place. I'm not really impressed, and I'm going to tackle another topic today where they were talking about money. Boy, oh boy, let me tell you, the Bitcoin sure does play a nice picture now, eh? If we got to worry about the germs, Ebola, or any other virus being on our cash. Dirty money. Come on, we've all been handling money, dirty money, for a long time. Don't get feared into that, okay, folks? And if you want real money, get yourself some silver. The only natural agent, I've posted in my past videos, I've showed here how a former CIA microbiologist was asked on national television, what's the only natural substance that can kill anthrax or any other germ warfare? He said colloidal silver. He said he tested in his laboratory when he worked for the CIA, and again when he retired he tested again in his own private lab. The proof is there. They know they can deal with this, folks. Don't buy into the BS. Now, oddly enough, now look what the latest news is on this whole Ebola thing. It's not done yet, and I'll connect some dots and show you that the same corrupt corporations are back at it again. And again, in my past video here last 2 days, I've showed how the same people that were fearing back when the swine flu was going on are back at it again, trying to fear you again. Don't buy into it. Okay, so let's tackle with the latest news here, what's come out, and let's connect some dots on the corruption.
On Saturday, World Health Organization officials announced that they've approached British pharmaceutical giant GlaxoSmithKline to rush a vaccine into development. GSK, for its part, has confirmed that they are proceeding to human trials in 1 month. This would make the vaccine development cycle, in this case, under 6 months, a process which normally requires years. The intention would be to proceed with the vaccine rollout for wide-scale trials, even if positive results are demonstrated only in a small subject population. Now,
great. So even if there's only a small result in a small population that actually get better from this vaccine, they'll still roll it out, even though it's unproperly tested, it's rushed through, and this is not the first time this has happened here. I pulled up some evidence so you guys can, if you're new to this whole vaccine thing, you'll realize that it's the same corrupt corporations pulling the same crap on you again, back as they were back when the swine flu went down. Okay, so as I make this video, today's Monday morning, as I mentioned, so the experts here from around the world are converging by telephone to try and chart out a path through the minefield of ethical issues related to expanding Ebola outbreaks in Africa, and what should they do? Give the doctors out there something that's not tested? Oh boy, I wonder, folks, as if they haven't tested this. I think many of you already know this is all a big theater, okay? A big joke. And the same thing when you're hearing this news here, how Libya is in a state of emergency, and they're all fear-mongering. They're not telling you the real news here. There's buckets of clean water where people can wash their hands. That's the state of emergency in Liberia, okay? And I'd mention here how Liberia, well, they're Gaddafi, oddly enough, in his UN speech, after 35 years of silence, happened to mention at his UN speech how the Illuminati were pushing a the vaccine program across Africa to try and depopulate Africa. It's happening, folks. You're watching it live. So back to GlaxoSmithKline. Are they so pure? I don't think so. You just got to look into this. This is a recent story here, August 11, 2014. They face fresh drug bribery claims in Syria. Now, this is not the first place, not the first time either. I've highlighted the most important text here. The attack on the drug maker's ethical standards follows a series of similar bribery claims against the company in China, Iraq, Jordan, Lebanon, and Poland. Reuters last month reported allegations of corruptions in JSK's Syria consumer business, which sells products including toothpaste and painkillers. The consumer operation was closed in 2012 due to worsening civil war in the country. Now, the company's back at it, but what are they doing this time? Yeah, there's new corruption involving bribes, paid bribes, yes, to boost the sales of various medicines, including ones that treat cancer and prevent blood clots. Now, it's not done there. These folks are continuing on. They're not going to stop, even though they get paid, they get fined. They don't mind paying a fine. That's the cost of doing business. You have to understand. They don't mind paying a fine, okay? So they'll continue on with this stuff here. It's very clear what's going on, and it all became very evident back in 2009 when we had the swine flu, and eventually we ended up finding out that this swine flu vaccine, again, that was pushed through JSK again, caused narcolepsy here. There was many cases. This is an article back from January 22nd, 2013. But this young lady, she's not the only one here. They say that there's around 800 children in Sweden and elsewhere in Europe that develop narcolepsy, an incurable sleep disorder, after being immunized with Pandoremic's H1N1 swine flu vaccine made by British drug maker GlaxoSmithKline in 2009. Now, yes, they got sued, but like I said, they don't care. That's the cost of doing business, folks. They probably knew that there was going to be side effects. They don't mind that. Now, what's interesting about this is that you may notice in this next page, they go on to talk about how the UK has capped how much money, the statutory compensation, it's at $200,000. Well, here in Canada, our Prime Minister passed a law that you can't even sue them. So yeah, you can take a vaccine, get sick, be paralyzed for life. You can't even sue them. So you got to be careful, folks. Stay away from it. You don't want to get caught in any type of horror show. And speaking of horror show, this is why I'm about to head out today, because I live here on the West Coast, and I watched this horror Pacific Ocean, new dead from, oh my God, this guy is a nutcase. Seriously, I'm calling him a nutcase now. There's no doubt about it. He's a nut who's fear-mongering and lying. That's the worst of it here. I live on the West Coast, so I'm going to go out and listen to what he says here.
200 miles pristine, 200 kilometers pristine coastline. It all looks the same. It has nothing. It has the kelp, it has the cabbage kelp, the kelp weed, the purple urchin, and what's the other one? I can't remember. I haven't shut up. Here we go, keep going anyway. Here's your kelp. It's very patchy, very tiny, No matter what we found in 200 kilometers, we could have fit it all in the back of a pickup truck.
Are you for real? In the back of a pickup truck. That's when I realized this guy, he is giving you nothing but false information. It's sad, very sad that people fall for the BS. It's unfortunately the younger viewers that don't have much life experience and they don't do their own research. Actually, I'm sure there's a lot of older viewers too, so I shouldn't really base it on any age group, but it seems that there is a higher concentration of people that, at the younger age group, that they're just not into doing any research. And if you follow somebody, it becomes, like someone mentioned, a cult. So if you speak out against them, well, now all of a sudden you're the big bad boy. And I don't care about this because I'd rather post the true facts here. And in this video here, you get to hear him talk how he doesn't even know about the town called Gibson. He calls it Gibbons. I was surprised because he claims that Dana, Beautiful Girl by Dana, claims that he's been living in here on the West Coast doing scuba diving, underwater diving here all his life. Yeah. And, oddly enough here, you get to find some inconsistencies in his story, because he tells you in the beginning of this 1 hour and 14-minute video how they rented a boat and he went around for 9 days, yada, yada, yada. And when you get near the end here, where I am, about 55 minutes, you find out that, well, they only rented the boat for 3 hours. One time for 3 hours. The rest of the time, they drove around in a car, taking a ferry from one spot to another. So, and it's funny because he presents pictures here that are taken below the ocean, and they're telling you everything is dead. There's no crows, there's no fish, there's no birds. Boy, oh boy, I'm telling you, I'm going to bust a hole in his chops. This guy is so full of BS here. I'm pulling out my camera. I'm going out there today, and I'm going to film all this stuff here on the West Coast, because as I mentioned here, I live on the West Coast also, and I know the Beachcombers. I know of Gibson. I've been watching them on TV ever since I was a kid. Know the show. Many of you do. So as I mentioned, I live on Vancouver Island, and he did his 200 kilometers here on this stretch here, and telling you that everything is dead. He never once mentioned all the massive cargo ships that go by here. I think roughly, 50 to 100 per day. I can't remember exactly what the number is, but there's a lot of cargo ships go up. I know because I live in Vancouver Island here in Victoria, and there's a lot of them that go by here every day. So I'm going to go out here and, do some real discovery here, folks, so you can really see what the West Coast looks like. The shoreline, it has not changed from way back then when this was filmed. It was rocky. There wasn't much vegetation at certain areas. It's not all beautiful, pristine beach every single place you go. It's sad, and again, he didn't talk about how all the logs may have killed out some of this area, but I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to pull out my camera. As I mentioned here, I live in Victoria. I'm going to go down with my camera, and I'm going to visit a couple places. One of the rough places I'm going to go is Rock Bay here, right near this Bay Street Island Bridge. Here, Google Earth. Right this area here. I'm going to go down this one little stretch of beach here, and it's very dirty industrial area. There was even a dump here. The city dump was here in Victoria. This is right in the downtown core, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that, but this is, the Parliament's right here. This is the ferry that goes to Seattle, Port Angeles. Now, what's interesting is I got some footage here of a sea otter up on the road here on Belleville Street. Yeah, going around in garbage, is eating garbage. And no, not because he's starving. There's food around there. I'll even pull out my camera, and hopefully I'll get some of the numerous crabs that live right here in the bay. And even though it's very dirty, very disgusting, this whole area is disgusting, as you may have noticed here. This is all industrial area. There's a big, massive cement plant here, all types of industrial. This is the recycling plant now, lots of scrap metal. Anyways, long story short, oh yeah, one more thing, metal. Don't go out there and buy your silver again. I think we're going to see another drop back down to that $18.60. Regardless, we're only $2 away. So if you do want to jump into it, remember to buy the Canadian Silver Maple Leafs. It's the purest silver coin in the world, 10 times more pure than any other coin, and it's the 49 silver, 0.9999 pure silver. It's the same type of silver you use to make the colloidal silver. The colloidal silver is the same stuff that the microbiologist from the CIA was telling you all how it kills anthrax and any other nasty germ warfare out there. So don't buy into the BS. Get educated. Go watch some of my videos on my YouTube channel the last few days. Last week I've put up some good stuff here, letting you all know that Don't buy into this stuff. Okay, stay tuned. I got some great footage on some live stuff here on the West Coast.